and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly cloudy good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne here at Radio Center as we take a look at what's going on outside right now as far as our weather goes. A lot of clouds. There has been some light precipitation reported around the state, but currently at the airport, we have 72 degrees here at Radio Center, a little bit warmer. We're at 74. Downtown Midland is at 70. Downtown Bay City is coming in at 71. We've got a southwest breeze, about 9 miles per hour. Humidity is right up there, currently at 87%. 29.77 and steady is the barometric pressure. And taking a look at what's going on, not only here in the state of Michigan, but in other parts of the country, we continue to see some very heavy-duty storm activity going on, especially down in Arkansas, southeastern parts of Kansas, southern Missouri. A lot of lightning, strong turbulence, in some cases, unofficial reports of tornadoes down there. That's been going on so far this morning. Over the past several days, we have seen unending rain in that part of the country, massive flooding, as many of you have probably heard on the national media. And as far as our agricultural folks are telling us, there's also some concern there when it comes to the harvest in that part of the continental United States. What we are looking at south of Michigan is a strip of very heavy rain and thunder and lightning. That is in northern Indiana. That's moving into northern Ohio. It's trying to work its way up into Michigan, but I don't think it's going to happen simply because we do have a high pressure system that's located over northern Minnesota. That high is a pretty strong high. The low pressure system that's moving through the Ohio River Basin is attached to a front that dropped through the state here as we move through the day yesterday. The center of the low is over northeastern parts of Ohio, and that activity is going to be moving in an easterly direction, moving away from us. But there is going to be the chance, albeit ever so slight and isolated in the central part of the state of Michigan, of seeing some spotty shower activity. The best chance of showers in Michigan is going to be the southeast corner, more than likely the southeast 25%. Down around the Detroit area, just immediately to the north and the west. But as we move through the day, that activity is going to be moving off. And then tonight, instead of seeing the winds coming out of the west and the southwest, we're going to see a north wind, about 5, 7, 8 miles per hour. So there's still going to be a chance of an isolated shower early this evening. But by midnight thereabouts, we are going to be looking at quite a bit of clearing taking place, and we're not going to have anything of precipitation. That will continue into the day tomorrow. Now, what are we looking at as far as a high today? 78 is our projected high temperature, and as we told you, we're looking at 72 and 74 right now. So we are going to need some sun in order to work our way up any more. Some folks have indicated that they're looking at a temperature of about 80, maybe 81 degrees. I think the best chance of that happening will be closer to the southeast corner, in particular to the Flint area. Kind of interesting. Back in 1988, which was a very dry year, not only here in Michigan, but all across the continental United States, massive burn-up of crops. 1987 started it, and then 1988 was worse, with 1988 also having some record high temperatures. Back on this date in 1988, close to 70% of the United States had high temperatures in the afternoon of above 90 degrees. So obviously we're not as warm as that, but it sure feels that way with the humidity the way it is. But so far, we've had not above average precipitation, especially for the month of June, but consistent precipitation overall. Now, some of you have picked up well above average. We've had isolated shower activity that's been on again and off again. Very seldom have we seen anything like what we saw yesterday, where it was a big wave of moisture and high winds. We've been dealing with a lot of pop-up type stuff. Yesterday created a very bad situation over on the west central portions of the lower peninsula, and still some of those folks are without power. Earlier this morning, we had folks telling us that in Aranac County and Ogama County, there were still folks that did not have electricity there. But obviously, as we continue through the day, the number of people without electricity will diminish rather rapidly. The crews have been working pretty consistently, carefully, but they've been doing a very good job. Tonight, as we indicated, clearing skies. There might be a spotty, isolated shower over in Michigan's Thumb, but that's going to be about it. 57 for a low. 9:22 is when the sun will set this evening. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 5:57. Tomorrow, much cooler, but sunny. That high pressure over Minnesota is going to dominate our weather. 73 for a high, 53 for a low tomorrow night, with a light north becoming east wind as we go into the evening hours tomorrow. Then on Friday, mostly sunny skies, a little bit warmer, 77, but clouds will be on the increase, and the temperature isn't going to really drop off all that much tomorrow. We're looking for, after a high of 77, a low only dropping down to 66. So we'll be about 6 degrees above normal on Friday night. Shower activity will be moving in after midnight. It's a very good chance of rain shower activity early on Saturday morning, and that will continue into the morning hours. But as we go through the day on Saturday, that activity will move off rather rapidly. So I think at least half, if not more, of the day will become partly to mostly sunny. Temperatures will respond. Saturday's high, 82. Partly cloudy sky Saturday night, 59. Then on Sunday, 72 for a high, 48 for a low with sunshine. Sunshine on Monday. But then on Tuesday, there will be a chance of some shower activity as we go through the day. Upper 70s for a high on Monday, low 80s for a high on Tuesday. Overall, to take us through the 9th of July, slightly above normal on the temperatures, above average on the moisture. Record high in the state is 98, set back in 1964. The record low 44, set in 1981. And a year ago today, 77 was our high, 64 was our low. We picked up about a half inch of rain. Incidentally, the warmest ever, 26th of June in 1966. The coldest ever was set back in 1926. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Standing by, Gary Kaufman and Doug Klein. But before we get to all of that, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. We continue to talk about Mother Nature just having her way with whatever she wants to do. Well, you better be prepared for that. The Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency will help you with a risk management policy. And it won't be that difficult to put together and implement. They also have hail insurance, covers for losses due to hail, and they'll pay for, all different types of percentages of loss. So you better check them out and ask. The Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency is licensed to serve all of Michigan with both conventional and organic crop insurance. Their agents can be reached directly on their cell for questions or emergencies. 989-868-4722. That's the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. Say good morning to Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. And Gary, I've been holding off long enough. What are we doing with these prices today?
We got a few positives. Actually, we got, we're positive across the board here, Terry, right now. Let's call cash wheat up a nickel right now. That puts both cash and new crop up 5 at 542 on the white, 452 on the red. Cash corn up a penny, Terry, at 346. New crop unchanged at 378. Cash soybeans currently up 7 at 1095. And the only negative we got is down 2 on the new crop beans, 1029.
Well, I have to think that eventually all this wet weather in the central part of the country is going to have some effect on the market.
Yeah, that was a weakness they had triggered yesterday in the soybean, that the rains in the central and dry eastern Midwest forecast for more, some of the parched eastern belt, so some moisture. Rain makes grain, as they always say in the trade. But, some timely rains in some areas that direly needed it, and as we move forward, weather is going to be a key factor, along with this quarterly stocks and acreage report we're going to see Friday. It might be some positions squaring up before that report, Terry. So.
Yeah, well, that'll probably happen tomorrow, I would imagine anyway. What's the scuttlebutt? Have you heard anything? What are they thinking right now?
Yeah, just reading through some of the wires here. They're actually thinking the corn, a little bit more corn acreage and a little bit more soybean acreage from the March report. So, and where those acres are coming from, to be determined, I guess. But they're figuring a slight uptick in both corn and bean acres, and then the stocks. Maybe that's the fireworks we're going to get on the stock side. But there's some wires I read this morning, Terry, that they're thinking corn stocks may be down more than people are anticipating. That's in the trade, so that might give us a little boost. So we'll see. So. Well,
we got our fingers crossed here for the weekend. I'm hoping that if we do get any rain on Saturday morning will be it, and then I'm looking for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday where we're not talking any rain. We need that for the wheat, don't we?
Yes, we do. We need it to dry out for sure. Yeah, we're within a week, I would say, on some of the early wheat fields that I've been looking at. I drive by one every day, and gosh, that looks like that field could go on 4th of July for sure. So
I think so. I think that's what we're looking at right now. Gary, you have yourself a great day. We'll talk to you again soon, okay?
Yep, you too. Thanks, Terry.
You bet. Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. Over to Doug Klein from Oppenheimer we go. The market report brought to you by Schaefer Beerline, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Frankenmuth. Remember, if you're in the market for a new Ram professional truck or a Ram heavy-duty truck, and you want to buy with confidence from a business-linked dealer that knows what customer satisfaction truly is, it is time to go to Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth, where Family and Service sells cars. And they've got employee pricing for everyone right now on new Ram heavy-duty trucks in stock at Schaefer and Beerline. Market report also brought to you by Thumb Bank, serving agriculture, making loans since 1895. And they're well aware of all the challenges that farming has. It's very demanding out there right now. Check with the experts at Thumb Bank and get an idea of how your operation can stay a good, successful operation with these trying times. They've got locations throughout the Thumb and the Great Lakes Bay region. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust and equal opportunity, lender and member FDIC. Doug Klein, good morning.
Good morning.
Is the stock market ready for the big debate?
Oh, I don't think they care, but Yeah, no, they don't care. I think they're just gonna watch it and go, huh.
If they even
what
do.
a comedy show. Yeah, right. But so some interesting things. I figured out. Kind of think I might have figured out where some of these immigrants are going that are slipping across the border. Apparently, there's dope farms in Oklahoma that are owned by the Chinese. I'm sure they're illegal because they're shutting them down on a daily basis. But they're using fake Amazon trucks and fake Amazon packaging to distribute their products. So I'm guessing that's probably not legit. It's not marked dope.
Well, maybe
when
that's
they put it on the porch.
maybe that's why the porch pirates are so busy right now.
Exactly. Yeah, so apparently they're armed with AK-47s and every other thing out there. So I don't know. We used to think a nice, quiet Midwestern town like, in Oklahoma or whatever, and could get a little dicey out there. I'm hoping they got permits though before they bought those AKs, because I wouldn't want to see them end up like Hunter Biden, prosecuted and all that stuff. God.
You think that would happen?
Yeah, right. But anyway, I heard that the price of used electric vehicles is down between 30 and 40% year over year. So that's kind of interesting. People have super turned their back on the electric vehicles, at least for the short time, for the short term. Who knows what's going to happen, 4 or 5 years down the road, and who's going to be dictating what they force on us 4 or 5 years down the road. But yeah, so that's kind of interesting. The dollar is strong. That's tough for us. 106.04 right now, 38-year high against the yen. That's a big deal. I'm sure they're going to have to intervene in Japan to get their yen a little bit stronger, I would think. So anyway, that's what I know. Here's your numbers. The July corn, 4.27, up a penny and a half. December corn, 4.43 3/4, up 3/4 of a penny. July soybeans, 11.71, up 7 3/4. November soybeans, 11.10 and a half, down a penny. July wheat, 5.48 and a half, up 6 3/4. And December wheat, 5.90 and a half, up 7 3/4. Crude oil steady, 80.33, down 50 cents. Heating oil is 2.53, that's up 0.2 of a penny. Gasoline, 2.50.88, up or down a half a penny. And natural gas, 2.76, down 8 1/4 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar. U.S. dollar buys $1.3697 Canadian. That's up 42 ticks. The dollar buys 160.66 yen. That's up 97 ticks. The euro's at 106.82. That's getting cheaper again, down 29 ticks. And again, the dollar's at 106.04, up 44 ticks. Gold is at 23.0160, down $16.80. Silver's 28.84, that's down 3 cents. Platinum's at $1,008.80, up 22 bucks. And then copper's at 435 and a half, that's down a penny and a half.
All right. Better days tomorrow, right?
Who knows?
Well, let's give it a try anyway. Okay?
Yeah, we'll give it a try. That's all.
Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Doug, you have a great one. Farm Service brought to you today by Ed Raymond and Sons, quality clothing and shoes since 1919. Carhartt's, Red Wing shoes and boots, Stormy Cromer accessories, and more. It's all available today at 151 West Broad Street in Chesaning. Check them out. You can go online too at edraymond's.com. Farm Service also brought to you by the Frankenmuth Credit Union. They do have lines of credit, equipment loans, financing for purchasing land, credit cards, and more. They are your hometown financial solution. If they're not, they should be. Find out more by stopping by any of their conveniently located offices or go online at frankenmuthcu.org. Along with me, Ed Benkert with Nutrient Ag. Ed, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Terry.
Did you put the mud shoes in the back of the pickup?
Yeah, I actually grabbed my boots a couple weeks ago, and they are in my truck. Yeah, and I've used them a couple times.
We've seen a little wet soil out there, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, unlike last year when we were begging for a rain this time of the year, some areas have gotten too much and other areas are sitting pretty good. But, overall, the crop is the corn especially has really taken off along with soybeans. I mean, the dry beans probably didn't need as much rain in some areas, but overall the crop looks really good, I think, in my travels.
So scouting the fields right now, what are you seeing, Ed?
Weed height, especially where we didn't get a pre-merge on. There's some dirty soybeans. I know the weather and wind has made it tough to get, applications applied. So just watch the labels and make sure we're staying within labels on crop height and weed height. And probably the other thing that just happened a couple days ago is tar spot was identified in southern Michigan and Branch County officially on June 24th. And again, last year we were dry and we really didn't have a lot of tar spot till really late. But this year with the crop growth and the weather that we're getting and the rainfall and the temperatures, we need to really be watching out for tar spot up in central Michigan and, potentially be ready to pull the trigger, when that corn's pollinating to get a fungicide on.
Ed, thanks a lot for the suggestion. We really appreciate it. And yeah, yesterday Marty Chilvers was talking about tar spot. It looks like it's going to rear its ugly head.
It very well could, Terry. That's so weather dependent, and right now, unless we get hot and dry, which it doesn't look like in the short term forecast that's going to happen, it's something we're probably going to have to manage this year. I
think so. You take care. Have a great day, Ed.
Yeah, you too, Terry.
Will do. Ed Benkert with Nutrien Ag. Jerry Samolsky joins us in just a moment.
Welcome to today's Merck Minute with special guest Austin Snook, U.S. Dairy Marketing Manager for Merck Animal Health. Austin is here to share some exciting things happening at Merck Animal Health. Tell us about Empower and what makes the Empower Dairy portfolio by Merck Animal Health different from other industry portfolios. And it really is different, Austin.
Yeah, that's a great question. So really having all these solutions under one entity looking at biopharma, monitoring, and identification allows us to offer a fully integrated experience for customers so that each of our products amplifies the other to help them all work together and work better than ever before. And so really that translates to more efficiency and better performance for dairy producers.
Thanks, Austin. Austin Snook, U.S. Dairy Marketing Manager for Merck Animal Health. With today's Merck Minute, learn more at empowerdairy.com.
Along with us, Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Jerry, what should we be looking at right now?
We're seeing rust in lawns just exploding now, Terry. This heat and humidity we've been having has been great for rust. It's really not a problem for the turf, but it gets on your shoes, it gets on your lawnmower. It's just kind of a mess. So it's not much you're going to do about it. But when all your shoes are and your lawnmower turns orange, it's not to be afraid, but it's an issue. Some fertility can help with that, but it's just going to run its course and do its thing.
All righty. Thanks a lot, Jerry. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All righty. Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Over to Maple Hill Nursery in Midland we go. Chuck Servinski. Chuck, what should we be doing right now?
Well, we're getting close to the month of July, and it's time to give those annual flower pots and baskets some nutrients to help get them through the next month or so. And we're talking Dairy Dew products, and why don't you try a little bit of Dairy Dew in each pot? It's a high carbon, high quality compost, and it's got all kinds of beneficial organisms to help keep those plants healthy and strong. And all you do is top each pot or basket with a handful of Dairy Dew, work it in with your finger a little bit, and water it in. We've got the product available in 1 cubic foot bags at the store, and within a week or so, it really makes a difference in a patio pot or a basket.
Yeah, so all we got to do is stop by the nursery and
we'll show you how to do it with Dairy Dew products from Morgan Composting.
Fantastic. You have yourself a great day, Chuck. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Talk to you Friday.
Chuck Servinski over at Maple Hill Nursery. We'll be right back with more. Experience the most reliable RTK signal from PC Ag Solutions, compatible with most GPS receivers. Trade in your old radio or modem and get an affordable subscription through us. We have over 25 base station locations across the Lower Peninsula, and we're always looking to add more to our network. Discover more power, more accuracy, and more coverage with our 450 megahertz signal. Call us to learn more today. PC Ag Solutions, 989-868-4444.
We could try to explain what it feels like to get your work done on a John Deere. The way a Z-Track mower finishes in half the time you thought it would. How easily soil gets moved with a 1 Series tractor. Or how it feels to tow up to 4,000 pounds behind a Gator XUV. But if you really want to know what it's like to run with us, you just have to get in the seat.
Contact one of Tri-County Equipment's locations in Auburn Hills, Bad Axe, Birch Run, Burton, Terrell, Fenton, Lapeer, Marlette, Reese, Saginaw, or Sandusky, or visit Tri-County Equipment online at tricountyequipment.com.
Lots more coming up. We'll be back at 12:30 for an update, so you stick around for that. But now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem, brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coins and Gifts in Bay City at 602 North Euclid Avenue.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. The Supreme Court rules Republican-led states had no legal standing in challenging the federal government's effort to deal with social media misinformation. Legal analyst Lori Levinson.
A majority of the Supreme Court did not focus on the merits of the argument that somehow the federal government was censoring social media platforms by telling them to beware of misinformation regarding COVID-19.
Now to the upper Midwest, CBS Minnesota's Jonah Kaplan has more on the damage from days of deadly flooding.
In Union County, South Dakota, entire homes sucked into the ground after rushing water carved this neighborhood into a canyon.
Sinkhole up here, we got another one on the other side.
Local Sheriff Jim Prouty told us roughly 50 to 60 homes were damaged. The catastrophic flooding ripped apart roads and tore out sewer, gas, and water lines.
To the families, the homeowners, this is their lives. I mean, this is starting over from scratch.
President Biden is moving to pardon American service members who were convicted of violating a military ban on consensual gay sex that has since been repealed. CBS's Jim Axelrod says it could mean restored benefits for thousands.
Steve Morose was an Air Force officer in the late 1980s before the military found out he was gay and put him on trial. You were looking at 17 years in prison.
I was 5 years per sodomy charge and a year per conduct unbecoming charge.
He was sentenced to 2 years in a military prison.
I thought my military life was over, but in that moment, I thought my life was over.
The man accused of killing 7 people and injuring dozens more at a 2022 July 4th parade outside Chicago today rejected a plea deal. The agreement would have put 23-year-old Robert Crimo in prison for life. A day after a violent attack on Kenya